I'm Marcel Neville, and you're in the strategy room. Scott Walker's expected announcement that he's running for president in the coming days is drawing increased attention from his fellow Republicans. Top-tier candidates like Florida's Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio are already ramping up their campaign rhetoric, possibly worried Walker could steal away their supporters. Here with the reaction are Jessica Tarlov, senior political strategist at Schoen Consulting, and Lee Carter, partner with Maslansky and Partners. Welcome to both of you. So, Lee, I start with you. Is Walker a threat to Bush and Rubio?
I think he is, but the bottom line with Walker is the people that talk about him are more excited about him than when you actually watch him yourself. So when I'm out talking to Americans and voters all the time, when they actually listen to him, he's boring, he's dull, he's backward looking, he's reformer, he's technical. It's not inspiring. And so I think people are concerned about him, but more about what all the people in the media are saying than when you actually watch him yourself.
But wait a minute, are you talking about his presentation or his policy?
I don't think people really, I mean, the bottom line is right now people aren't sure about the differentiation in policy. And when you talk about somebody that's a reformer, you've got to agree with him in the first place. So he doesn't have broad appeal. He's sort of technical. He's not inspiring, and people aren't really paying that much attention when they get a chance to listen to him.
Okay, so Jessica, how does Walker stand out in an already crowded field?
Well, he's a governor, and I mean, I think that after 8 years of Obama, a first-term senator, that there is going to be an appeal that these guys who have had an executive role will have. Like, that's what Jeb Bush is running on. Chris Christie's going to have a lot to talk about because he has a record. It's not a fantastic record, and same with Scott Walker. He has not done well for the economy there, and he talks about it, but I mean, his main accomplishment is that he, quote, he beat the unions, which is his defense also for why he would be good on ISIS, which I think is a big mistake. People feel like we have a president right now who is amateurish in his foreign policy, and Scott Walker has not made it clear that he understands anything about foreign policy, and I think that that's a big failing on his part.
I think people want to see a leader. I really do. And I don't think Walker comes across as a leader. He seems to attack. He seems to go backwards. When people listen to Marco Rubio, and this was really surprising me, he is talking about being a next generation leader. He's talking about the future. He's painting a picture of what it can be like.
But his policies aren't that new, which is problematic. I mean, he's got great rhetoric like that, but his ideas, I mean, they've been hashed over the past few years. I mean, we were just talking about this. For a Republican, I like Marco Rubio. I get it. I get the appeal. Jeb Bush is my pick of the worst. But Marco Rubio isn't actually putting that much new forward.
I just don't think that people at this point are paying that much attention to the different policies. You've got 16 candidates to look at, and you're trying to listen and hear for what am I going to resonate with me, so who am I going to pay attention to right now? And I think Rubio is sort of breaking through in that way.
I totally agree. I was just saying I don't think he doesn't wow me with his policies, but I think, the average American might not be following to the letter the policies.
Well, I mean, so let's get back to, you've been talking about Rubio and Jeb Bush, but let's talk about Walker again. And Lee, I'll ask you this. Is there an early primary state where Walker will have an advantage?
Well, if he doesn't have an advantage in his own state, then he's in really, really big trouble. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. Are we going to see, he's going to spend some time, they say, in Iowa later this week. We're going to see the pickup, and I think we're going to have to watch the polls. I'm really not sure, because the thing that I see about Walker when I play the messages, when I play what he's saying, is people are excited before they hear him. Once they listen to him, they're no longer excited about him. So he's going to have to do a lot with this announcement to really get people excited and want to pay attention. So I'm just not sure if he's really going to break through in the polls or not.
But again, so in the announcement, would he have to wow them, in terms of presentation to get their attention and then lay out some sort of platform?
I think so. I mean, I think it has to be everything. We're talking about, the most powerful job in the entire world, right? And you've got to hit it on all levels, right? And that's what Barack Obama had. He was the best to listen to, and he had a policy platform the majority of Americans could relate to. I know that there's been a departure from probably more, purple politics or whatever, and we've certainly gone more to the left and they're more blue politics. But Scott Walker, he's got to have a personality. He's got to be dynamic, but he's also got to have substance, which is, I'm sure, where he's going to draw on his record, and that may appeal to some people, but I don't think it's going to appeal to enough.
I mean, I think the bottom line is we've got to find somebody to be excited about, and that's going to be a lot in his presentation.
Who isn't Donald Trump? That is just my hope.
Excited in a positive way. Let's talk about that. Not somebody who just gets attention, but somebody who you can actually say, I see a better America because of you. And so far we haven't seen that, and I'm not sure that he's going to be able to do that, but that's his job. So he should be thinking about that. How do I inspire Americans to say that tomorrow is going to be better than today because of you?
Well, we'll be watching.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it after his announcement. How about that one?
Absolutely.
Jessica Tarloff and Lee Carter, thanks so much.